好，今天节目当中继续为大家邀请到是美亚扶邻社2位嘉宾，分别就是Lamar跟 Kimberly， 一块来欢迎他们。谢谢来到我们这个节目当中，谢谢你。我想问一下 Kimberly， 有没有一些就是犯罪上面的一些数据跟资料，就是反亚裔犯罪上这个数据资料可以跟我们分享？这些数据资料会不会影响到你们服务的这些小商业主呢？
Yeah, so man, there's a lot of statistics, right? I think especially from the years of 2020 to 2021, right? The uptake in hate crimes is it skyrocketed, right? Nationally, that number is over 300%, right? I think it's 339%. But in San Francisco, that jump is even higher. It's over 550%, right? And in a recent study, I believe that was published last year, a third of Asian American adults have said that they know someone who's been threatened or attacked because of their race or ethnicity, right? And that's not a small number. That's 33% of people, and I think that number is actually a lot higher, right? Because a lot of times people don't report those numbers. And in terms of Asian-owned businesses in California, right? In terms of hate incidences that were reported in the early pandemic years, about 30% of these hate incidences, right, took place in a place of business, right, in an Asian American business.
As I know, the Asian Inc. had the Stop the Hate program during the COVID-19. So could you guys tell us a little bit more about this?
The Stop the Hate project that we are doing through the state of California's Department of Social Services is not just working with some of the groups that Kimberly spoke about. Asians Are Strong, Chinatown Volunteer Coalition, Compassion in Oakland, Stand with Asian Americans, to deliver the one-on-one, to deliver our hotline, to deliver our legal services, to deliver self-defense training, to deliver escort safety services, but also to have a community conversation where we can create safe space to have real honest discussions so that we can create policies and practices and relationships among racial groups so that we can combat hate as a united front. We had a community conversation focusing on the unity piece and fighting economic racism, because when you have hatred and discrimination and violence afflict one community, that can have a cancerous effect on all communities. And when we hold a line as Asian Americans against racism towards other groups or other forms of hate towards other groups, then we can have a more united front. So that's why we're focusing on not just the direct services and not just covering San Francisco and Alameda County and other parts of the Bay Area through those services, virtual and in person, but also having those conversations and being out there with African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and other groups so that we can fight hate together. We're here talking about it with you, and we'll be happy to talk about it with other media outlets in other languages. We can do it in Spanish. I wish I could do it in Cantonese or in Mandarin with you, but I'm working on that. Maybe next time you have us, then we'll do this whole thing in Cantonese or in Mandarin. So anyway, but Kimberly.
对，我先问你一个问题，就是跟连带的，因为你是这个专案的负责人嘛，对不对？那有没有一些数据资料，就是说在你负责这个专案当中有 approach 多少的这个人啊，或者是有举办多少 event 可以跟大家 share 的？
Yeah, so I mean, we're a year into the program. I can tell you the statistics for the first 3 quarters of our program, and in just 3 quarters, that's 9 months, right? And in the first 9 months, we've done over 100 events / one-on-one support services. That's reached over 36,000 people in the San Francisco Bay Area region. And when you think about that, that's a lot of people. So let me kind of break that down a little bit more, right? We've had 8 mental health support groups, and that's reached over 100 people. We've done over 40 self-defense classes that reached about, I think, probably over 300 people. There have been over 15 SF Chinatown safety patrols. There have been over 35 individual referrals to mental health resources, right? And that's just, a very small chunk of the audience that we've met, right? And we've done so much more, and there's so much more to come. And it really goes to show the reach of the programs and services that we provide, as well as what's to come. And it's something also to note that it's something that we really need in the community, right? These are programs and services that people need in their lives. And I think that's something that we need to keep going.
We always like our guests to share the story in our program. So do you have any story you can share with us about the Stop the Hate program?
So another story, we shared one earlier, but another story that we can share is, and we focus on Chinatown. And to be clear, Chinatown is not the only place where Asian American businesses and Asian American people are. But a story that we can share with you is a business did not feel that it could operate because they were a target. And so we visited a business in Chinatown, and we were prepared to deliver a grant through the Chinatown Strengthening Grant program that we were implementing for the city. And we looked at the business, and it was boarded up. And I said, well, we can't give a grant to a business that's boarded up. It has to be an open business operating. We contacted the business owner, and the business owner said, we board ourselves up so that we don't look like that we're open, so that we're not a target to folks trying to attack us. And that broke my heart. I mean, that broke my heart to say that business could not show to the outside world that it was open for fear that it would be attacked for being a business in that part of town and being vulnerable as it felt. That broke my heart. Now, we gave the grant to the business. Business was an operating storefront, but that people have to hide their existence. And you talk about Asian Americans being quiet or Asian Americans not speaking up. Well, to have a business that is trying to be economically productive, but yet wants to hide its existence so that it doesn't become a target of violence, I mean, that is not only saddening, that is sickening. That people come to this country and feel that they cannot pursue their American dream in safety and security, that they feel they have to hide who they are to be able to survive. That is sickening, and our country should not tolerate that kind of economic environment.
谢谢你们的分享，我相信观众朋友收获一定很多。Let's take a break from here, OK？ 那我们下回节目再见。